in particular Laura Hodges, playing her 200th game today, an experienced, savvy veteran. She's going to look to be more of a catch-and-go player, work off the bounce, get as close to the basket as possible, and then the experience of Samantha Logic in the backcourt leads them in assists. We'll also look to post up the smaller point guards of the Lynx, down low in the post. Everything runs through her. She's their floor general, a bit like Mansfield for Canberra last week, and she'll be the one that the Lynx will target to try to get the ball out of her hands early.
Despite being zip and 5, the Adelaide Lightning, still a dangerous team. They've had a couple of losses by tight margins.
Yeah, absolutely. No team in the league this year can be underrated. This is a team that's going to look to space the floor and won't be shy in their three-point attempts either, as they're second in the competition, only behind the Lynx.
Have the advantage today?
Definitely in the open court, looking to establish that high tempo, pressure defense, big expectations in the backcourt this season with what Coach Stewart has. I think that's where it'll be won and lost today for the Lynx.
Let's hear the thoughts of head coach Andy Stewart of the Perth Lynx, who spoke with media earlier this week.
So Andy, you've got the Adelaide Lightning this Sunday coming up. What do you expect out of them?
Look, they've actually been really competitive, even though we know that their resources aren't necessarily there for Chris this year. But some of their losing margins, even though they're 0-5, some of their losing margins are only single digits. So we're quite wary of them.
You've had the 5 days at home now, which is a luxury you haven't really been afforded much in the past. How beneficial has that been?
Oh, huge for us, absolutely huge. You know, really a disrupted pre-season, a lot of travel. In pre-season as well, our 4 games away, to be able to get this time, it's almost having a pre-season. This week it's been excellent for us.
So your guard rotation, what are you expecting out of your guard rotation this Sunday?
Well, for the first time we've actually got one. You know, Tessa's not on limited minutes, we have no injuries, we've got 4 or 5 girls that can really get after it, and so we feel like we're back to somewhere near where we were last year with regard to our tempo and our pressure defence.
Adding a few wrinkles in throughout the season, week by week, is there more of that? Can the fans expect more of that this weekend?
Oh, I think so. I think most seasons you go and throw wrinkles in during the year, but our dilemma this time has been trying to get everybody together right at the start. So we've really just been learning our basic game plan, and now we hope that we can throw a little bit more onto the floor.
What have you seen out of Ruth Hamblin in the early stages of the season that you've liked?
Yeah, good progress. We knew that Ruth was going to be it's probably a tough word, but we knew she was going to be a project because she hadn't played a lot. She certainly wasn't playing much in the WNBL, but her raw talent and potential is huge. And we knew that we were probably getting a player that was somewhat underdone, but was super keen to learn. And I think she's got better every game.
The leadership in the group, particularly with Sammy and Tony, how have they been setting the tone at training?
Well, I mean, it's outstanding to have 2 players like that. Even yesterday, you know, we did a little bit of testing. Sam had to win, you know, and that just sets an example for the rest of the group that she's going to, no matter what drill it is, no matter what skill thing it is, Sam's going to get after it and lead us by example, and Tony's not very far behind.
The head coach of the Perth Lynx, Andy Stewart, with his thoughts in the press conference during the week. Nik Lacovic, let's have a look a little bit more in depth, the matchup this afternoon, the Lynx taking on the Lightning.
Yeah, well, for the Lynx in particular this afternoon, Coach Andy Stewart has emphasised the high expectations he has on his guard rotations with Whitcomb, Lavey, Edmondson and Phillips. His focus and the team's focus this afternoon is going to be establishing this high tempo and this extreme pressure on defence, and having someone like Tessa Lavey back with no minutes restrictions this afternoon is going to be integral in them playing and establishing that pace early and putting the Adelaide team under extreme pressure for the complete 4 quarters of basketball.
Hamblin and Phillips, who's done an admirable job filling in too for Lavey. Tanea Phillips there, originally from Dandenong, averaging just under 10 points per game, Nick. Tony Edmondson, again, she played her 100th game last week in a Lynx jersey, was instrumental. She's averaging just under 5. You throw in Mijovic's perimeter threat, 16 points per game, and Wickham with 22. Lavey averaged 10 points per game last year. The advantage with the Lynx is their even spread of scoring. You look on the flip side of it, you look at Hodges, Planeta and Logic, the only 3 scorers averaging over double digits for the Lightning.
Yeah, and this is a team, Adelaide right now, that are struggling from the perimeter, shooting it at 23% from the three-point line, which is good for 7th in the competition. But yet, Matt, they take the second most of three-point attempts in the competition. They do like to space the floor, look for a lot of penetrating pitch to the outside and on the perimeter, whereas the Lynx, they're first in the competition in three-point field goal attempts, and that is a strength of what they'll try to establish again today.
A spirited fight back last week by the Lightning, coming back from a big deficit to just fall short by 5 points. They're a hard-working defensive unit, I'm sure you'll agree, Nick. What do they need to do on offense to try and match the Lynx this afternoon?
Well, I think they're going to have to really control the tempo this afternoon, and that's part of what they'll do. If you have a look at some of their sets, we'll go through the course of their game. They run a lot of stuff through Laura Hodges with Samantha Logic dominating the ball, some horns actions where they'll actually look to use that to post up Logic in some situations, particularly possibly against Whitcomb or Lavey or even Edmondson down low, and then they'll likely to try to make an impact on the glass by attacking the glass. They do a very good job rebounding-wise. You've got Colleen Planeta, that averages just under 6 rebounds a game. You've got Logic that averages 6 rebounds a game, and then you've got Laura Hodges that averages 10 rebounds a game.
Some of her numbers have been phenomenal. 20 points and 9 boards against Bendigo. Back that with 21 and 10 against Melbourne. 17 and 6, arguably her quietest game. Tremendous talent against UCC. 20 and 10 against Townsville, and 14 and 10 against Melbourne. A double-double machine.
She certainly is, and again, that'll have to be part of their focus this afternoon, to really make sure, and I'll emphasise it again, in controlling tempo. Because if they play at the Lynx tempo, it's going to put them under pressure with their depth and their rotations. And the other key ingredient here today, Matt, is the fact that Adelaide lead the competition in turnovers at 17.8, call it 18 a game. So if they play at the pace at the Lynx and they can't control the ball, get good looks, and the Lynx create more opportunities through these turnovers, they're a team that are very active on the perimeter and in the passing lanes. They love getting up and under the guards, so that has to be where Adelaide needs to slow this game down.
And with the Lynx, Sammy Whitcomb, always a regular fixture in the top 10 in the league in steals, as is Tessa Lavey. Laura Hodges, we need to congratulate her. Game 200 this afternoon in the WNBL. A 3-time Olympian, a former WNBL Rookie of the Year, and a fantastic product of the South Australian basketball system.
She's been fantastic throughout the course of her career in every aspect of what she's done on the floor. And again today, a huge responsibility on her shoulders for them to have a chance to get a win in the win column for them this afternoon.
Well, the fans are ready to stand for the Australian National Anthem. We mentioned before Sammy Whitcomb and her impact offensively. She's been a 3-time WNBL in the Team of the Week, the only player in the league that has featured in all 3 rounds of the season in that category. And earlier in the week, we had some footage from Sammy. Let's have a look at that. Well, just under 3 minutes to the tip-off, round 4 of the WNBL season for 2016-17. The Lightning looking for their first win, as we said, sip and 5 against the Perth Lynx. Who could go top? We saw some earlier footage of Sammy Whitcomb, 3-time WNBL Player of the Week, last season's Lynx MVP. Her energy on both ends of the floor is something to behold.
She's just incredible. In all the time I've watched and covered and looked at basketball, I've yet to see a player of her ability to be able to do so many things on both sides of the floor. She loves getting up and down the floor offensively. Given the airspace, she's going to knock down shots from the perimeter, and she's so dynamic about working off the bounce. You can put her in so many situations, either isolations on the wing, put her into an on-ball pick and roll, and she's so effective in creating opportunities for herself and her team. And the way that she's playing, she's a leader of this group and in the competition this year, hence the reason she's been recognised by multiple Player of the Weeks.
We mentioned the pre-game show, Nik Lacovic. Nat Burton comes out of the starting 5 for the first time this season. The Canadian hammer, Ruth Hamblin, replaces her. Talk us through maybe the mindset there of head coach Andy Stewart.
Well, Nat really looks like she's just really maybe finding her feet still within kind of the structure and the system of what's happening this year with the Lynx. You know, she's down at 3.5 points a game, 4 rebounds, shooting the ball in the 44-45% range, which isn't bad, but probably looking more for a bit of a spark off the bench and giving some energy and allowing her to relax and settle into the flow of the game. She's an experienced player. It won't take her long, and she could have a larger impact in the role coming off the bench.
All right, Ruth Hamblin, one of the best shot blockers in the WNBL, shooting just under 50% as well, and see if she can make an offensive impact this afternoon. Well, our third member of the commentary team here on LynxTV, Mark Cometti, our sideline reporter. Very good afternoon, Mark.
Matt, Nick, looking forward to this round 4 matchup. Lynx coach Andy Stewart hasn't been thrilled with his team's sluggish starts to games this season, so this has been a distinct focus at training this week. So look to the Lynx to get fast out of the gates tonight. Also with the Lightning, look to them to rely heavily on Hodges and Logic to steady the ship in this hostile territory and try to find that elusive first win.
Thanks for that, Mark Cometti. We look forward to his input throughout the afternoon on Lynx TV. The starting lineup's about to head out. The Adelaide Lightning playing a bit of cat and mouse with us, Nick. We couldn't get their starting 5s, unfortunately, before the tip-off, but they're about to head out now. Mark Grist, Craig Copes, and Steve DeConza, our officials this afternoon. Mark mentioned the tempo, and that will need to be established right off the bat.
Absolutely, and for Whitcomb and Levy, they'll be looking to push at all costs, and that's the reason someone like Carly Mijovic is so effective from the perimeter. 46% from the three-point line. Adelaide are going to have their hands full if they can't contain the penetration of Levy and Whitcomb, and they have to help off too much, and they get caught in rotations, leaving someone like Mijovic open. It could get ugly for them if they don't make that adjustment.
We'll see how Adelaide come out in their first term. They trailed by 15 points last week against Melbourne at three-quarter time, and then went on to win the last term 25-16. So a little bit of momentum heading into this round 4 clash. The starters on the floor, and Jordan Hunter gets the nod there. Also the number 15 and Taylor Roberts. Game number 200 for Laura Hodges, and also Jessica Good will start for the Lightning. So the Lynx in the all-red jerseys, the white trim attacking the basket to the left of your screen. Adelaide in the white with the blue trim to your right. We're underway, and the visitors control the opening tip. Sam Logic guarded by another Sam in Whitcomb. Hodges over to the number 15 and Roberts. They swing it near side. Shot clock winds down to single figures. A good look inside and a great start for the Lightning as Taylor Roberts kisses it off the glass for 2.
Great action there from Adelaide. Good composure and very good execution in the half court to get that early 2 points.
Hamblin, a risky cross-court pass to Levy, who again is on no minutes restriction. Looks to cross up her opponent. Inside to Hamblin, 5 to shoot now. Edmondson, a wide open look from downtown, and she makes good from deep, and that is her first 3-point field goal of the season.
She's been so reliable on the defense end of the floor, and it's great to see her settle herself on offense and hit that early shot.
Whitcomb down the other end, and the Lynx have their first lead of the ball game.
And there's that pressure we talked about up in the passing lane. Sammy so active with her hands, able to get out in the open court and get a run-out layup.
5 plays 2. We've travelled 1 minute in this opening term. Over the far side, that's Hunter from the baseline, just caught the front of the rim.
Andy Stewart barking at the team to get out and run off that rebound.
And there's that tempo we discussed as Sammy Whitcomb kisses another one off the window. She's up to 4 points, and we've just travelled 1.5 minutes. Can she make amends, Hunter? No, same result. The field goal was short. Miovic controls the glass. Over towards Edmondson. Looks to blow past her opponent on the baseline. The layup was a little strong. Well done, Hamblin. The O-board 2 and +1 as she was caught on the arm on the putback. And she'll get to go to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play.
And again, Matt, that came off a rotation from the weak side help where there was ball penetration and attacking at the rim from Edmondson. And we had to get Talia Roberts to step across and try to contest that shot, and that allowed Ruth to be able to get the offensive glass and put herself in a position for a three-point play.
We're going to head into the team huddle of the Perth Lynx and listen to head coach Andy Stewart.
We can't be leaving. Remember what we're going to do is we're going to pack it in, and then we're going to make the drivers when we close them out.
Yeah, just stay with that and I'll take it out. Yeah.
Hey, nice tempo, guys. Nice start, nice tempo. Now we are, you know what we're in? And I don't need to tell everybody on the camera on the microphone. All right? Has everybody got it? Okay. Hey, remember that every now and again, if I think that it's rolling our way, we might just stay with it, even on a make. Okay, off you go.
Come on, let's go.
Thanks to Coach Andy Stewart there, giving us a bit of insight and allowing us on camera to know what they're actually running. The emphasis there, Coach Stewart, is obviously about establishing the tempo and getting out there and running. And as we can see from the early start, 9-2, potentially 10-2 after this free throw by Hamblin. Continue to focus on pressuring Adelaide, full court, and running at all costs.
Yeah, we mentioned pre-game the turnover-prone team are the Adelaide Lightning. Now, Hamblin's just a 50% foul shooter on the season. Shoots about the same from the field. And that one rattles home for the three-point play. Biggest lead of the ball game, early stages in the first term, 8 points. Walking the tightrope there was Jordan Hunter. In fact, overstepped the mark. And they turn it over there with the extended pressure again from the Lynx.
And you can see what this pressure creates in the backcourt with Levy and Whitcomb, getting the ball out of Logic's hands early and forcing someone else to have to operate their offense for Adelaide.
Down low into Whitcomb, ran into Hunter, goes for the leaning jump shot. That was pretty. And Whitcomb now up to 6 points, leading the game.
Right at the body of the defender, and he's able to finish, keeps the composure. Great footwork by Whitcomb.
So after they scored the opening basket, the Lynx go on a 12-zip run. How will the Lightning respond? Nice entry pass down low. Roll wouldn't go. And the ball spilling off the rim for the Lightning. Here come the Lynx. 3-on-3 going the other way. Whitcomb, an early three in transition. Nothing but nylon from the wing. And piling on further misery for this Adelaide side at the moment, who look to go back the other end immediately. Jessica Good with the left hand. It didn't drop. She'll go to the charity stripe to shoot 2.
Adelaide have got some rather large concerns early in this first quarter, 15-2, and the ability that Tessa Levy has to be able to push the ball and find the open shooters on the perimeter. But the acknowledgement has to go to the Lynx about how hard they run and how wide they run. Whitcomb, given airspace, she's not missing too many of those.
Jessica Good, 21-year-old, 3-time Premier League champ with the Norwood Flames, goes 1 of 2. Doesn't get the friendly roll on the second, and the ball's out of court. It'll be the Lightning maintaining possession. Finally, a little luck going their way. 15 plays 3, and we have 7 minutes, 29 seconds remaining in this opening term. Thanks for joining us on LynxTV. Matt Cecins, Nik Lacovic, and Mark Cometti on the sideline. Another needless turnover, a travelling violation this time for Adelaide.
And that comes off the back of not shooting the ball well from the 3. They had an opportunity to get an open shot. Instead, she put it on the floor and unfortunately travelled in that situation. Perth now, under a little bit of pressure from Adelaide and Logic, turn the ball over back down the other way.
Yeah, and it looked to be miscommunication. Hamblin had a few of those passes last week against UC Capitals. So the Lightning trail by 12, and it's a little like Groundhog Day at the moment with the poor inbounding from both teams, Nick.
Interesting last 30 seconds of possession, 3 turnovers without getting the ball over half court.
So Miovic and Levy, congratulations to them, completing the mere formality. Here's Tanea Phillips, skip pass to Levy, another 3 on the way, caught the front of the rim, and And rising high was Taylor Roberts, corralled the defensive rebound. Another poor pass. Lavey up in the passing lane, looking to push the ball.
Adelaide back into a 2-3 zone here, trying to pack it in and stop any kind of penetration and ball movement right now for the Lynx. And we're able to come up with a stop on that possession.
Yeah, well done. Laura Hodges kept her feet, didn't bite at the pump fake from Hamblin and forcing the errant shot firstly, then the turnover. 15-3. 6:55 remains in the opening term here from the Bendat Basketball Centre. Sunday afternoon, WNBL. Hodges, if you just joined us, playing game 200 and looking for that pass inside again was a little high, and they turn it over Adelaide. And Nat Burton onto the floor for the first time, and Ruth Hamblin makes way. It's made an impactful start, Ruth Hamblin.
Yeah, she's been fantastic. Was able to get active on the glass, got herself a three-point play, came up with a few crucial defensive rebounds.
5 turnovers in the early stages already for the Adelaide Lightning. Wickham looking for that two-man action there with Burton. Outside of Mijevic, that's a deep three, caught the heel of the rim. And here come Adelaide coming the other way. They trail by 12. Nice skip pass over to Jess Good, putting the ball on the floor. Inside to Hodges, caught on the arm. She'll go to the line shooting 2.
Now, if Adelaide are going to give themselves any chance to get back into this game, Laura Hodges needs to be the focus and touch the ball every time down the floor. They look to run some action out of the pinch post where they go into her and she comes off a back screen into the low post for some high-low action. And on that occasion, it was a lob pass off penetration from the weak side. She's able to get herself to the free throw line. More importantly now, Adelaide can set up some form of half-court defense and get the Lynx out of transition if they can hit free throws.
Great work from Roberts, managed to get the offensive board and the putback. So a three-point play, albeit a rather unconventional form. Wickham, nice skip pass to Phillips. 3 on the way, good. Rattlesnaked its way down the chute. Caught every piece of the iron before dropping through the twine. And the immediate response from the Lynx. Nice little crossover there from Ellsworthy. Outside to the baseline. Jumper again, no good for Adelaide. Phillips over to Lavey. Looks to cross her opponent up in the corner and retreats out now. They've used 10 seconds of the shot clock. Wickham need to get a hand on her. They can't dodge a bullet there. Well done, Burton kept the ball alive. Only briefly as Hodges read it, and she'll go 3 on zip the other way. And the 200 gamer off the window, good for 2.
Those cheap points are hard to come past. An unfortunate hustle play that didn't fall in favour for the Lynx, but great effort by Nat Burton there.
Wickham just blows past. The reverse layup wasn't there. Adelaide trailing 17-8, exactly halfway through the opening term. Hodges on the far side over to Good. Back inside to Hodges, ran into a red wall. Outside to Ellsworthy. Her 3 was long. Mijevic.
Adelaide just don't seem to be able to put any pressure on the rim on the offensive glass right now, which enables Perth to catch it and go off the rim and get into their half court without any real danger.
Wickham works off the pick, and they switch on that. So the mismatch for Mijevic looks to back her opponent down, and she was impeded by Sarah Ellsworthy, and she'll get her first trip to the foul line this afternoon.
Nice option there, ran an on-ball pick and roll, got a switch situation into the low post. Mijevic took her time, backed her opponent down, and rewarded herself now by getting it to the foul line.
Almost the platoon swap for the Lynx. They send 3 fresh bodies onto the floor. Adelaide makes some changes as well. And Planetta, we see her for the first time this afternoon as Mijevic in the fluoro peach wheels knocks down the first.
She's a player, Matt, that takes 50% of her attempts from the three-point line. So to get to the foul line is quite rare for Carly, because not a lot of the action comes out of the post or off the dribble getting to the cup as much as it does from the perimeter.
And checks out of the game after knocking down 2 of 2. Extended pressure again from the Lynx. It's been a feature throughout. 4.5 to play. 19-8 is the score. The Lynx in control. Outside the long line now for Adelaide. They double on that action at the moment. The behind the back pass was crafty. Only 3 to shoot now for Adelaide. Can they get something off in time? Just beating the shot clock. The fall away from Logic.
Tough shot in the lane, understanding the shot clock in that situation and the recognition to get it off. Credit goes to Logic in that situation.
Keisha Lee with a very early shot in transition was unsuccessful. 9 points to margin. Lee with the duties there on Logic. Out to the elbow extended from Planeta, and it was a little right off the hand. Phillips with the ball handling duties now towards Hamblin. Plays the little give and go outside with Lee. Looks to spin into the lane. Great D again from Hodges. That affected the shot, allowed Adelaide to come up with a rebound. Logic, lovely pass inside to the cutting Hodges. And a little better flow now on offer on offense for the Adelaide Lightning, Nik Lacovic.
And it came out of a defensive stop where they were able to get the ball in some form of a numbers advantage, and great recognition from Logic to find Hodges.
Up the top now with Phillips, back outside to Edmondson. That three was long. In fact, didn't even catch any piece of the iron. Hamlin kept it alive. Single digits on the clocks now, and a foul here on the near side. Ia Vinod should be called for her first personal foul.
Always great to see the biggest player on the floor getting down and picking up loose balls and hustle plays. That should give the Lynx a bit of energy here in the half court.
Yeah, the hustle stats for the Lynx. Edmondson, game number 101 in a Lynx jersey. Gets the handoff, looks to penetrate in towards the middle. Great on-ball D there from Nodge. Burton has to take a contested long-range jumper. Did well, collected her own miss. Left-hand jump hook. Great hustle from Nat Burton.
The ability to follow a shot, attack the offensive glass, and put it back right there. That's a huge possession for the Lynx and for Nat Burton's confidence.
Hodges, one that you'd rather forget, airballs the three from dead in front, and another turnover going to the Lynx. 21-12, 2:40 to play opening term. Edmondson. Hamlin flashed high. Sets the on-ball now for Lavey. Pull up from the foul line was short. Ellsworthy's been active in the early stages of this ball game. Outside three on the way from Nodge. A little right and short. And managed to come up with the offensive board. So a reset for the Lightning. 21-12, they trail. Hodge, can she do a better job this time? Or at least it caught the iron. It was short. Well done, Burton again. She's been active, kept the ball alive. Allows Edmondson to come up with the scraps. They look to push early. Well done, Hodges. Read the pass. Got up in the lane. 2-on-2 coming the other way. Oh, that's a travel. Well spotted from Steve DeConza, one of the local referees here in Western Australia. And another turnover for Adelaide, their 7th of the term, Nick.
Matt, I don't understand how they're going to give themselves any chance to win this game with 7 turnovers in the first quarter and shooting the ball at the percentage they do from the perimeter. Adelaide need to walk the ball down the floor unless they have a clear advantage and an open court layup and get themselves established in some form of half court here to drag themselves back into this game.
Lavey, Burton, Edmondson, Miovic and Whitcomb, the 5 in red. They have the lead. Inside 2 minutes of the first term. Edmondson comes off the screens, got a wide open look. That was long as well. She's only made 1 all season. And there's a hold in the rebounding contest going against Carly Miovic. It looks rather bewildered, but the foul was there. 3 team fouls apiece now.
And I can understand Coach Stewart's frustrations as the call was made from behind the play with 2 officials under the basket with a better viewpoint, but still never seen a call get changed.
Good point, Nick. You can argue as much as they want. Nodge gives it over to the elbow. Little handoff, give and go, fall away. Unsuccessful. Here comes Miovic. Looks to lob it inside to Burton. Got caught too far under the rim. Numbers out on the perimeter as Edmondson lost the handle. In dispute. They scrap for it. Well done, Burton. Found the cutting Miovic. She's been fouled. And I dare say this one called on Laura Hodges of the Adelaide Lightning.
And how good has Nat Burton been able to be in the right spots with timing, great energy, attacking the glass on the offensive glass, finding lanes, getting deflections and loose balls and creating up that opportunity for Miovic now.
And the substitutions, Nodge makes her way off the floor, as does Laura Hodges, looking to get a breather before quarter time. It's been all one-way traffic in favour of the Lynx. Edmondson looking to spin, little drop step, beautiful. 2 points.
Adelaide really struggling to contain any penetration right now of the Perth Lynx.
Logic looking to work off that screen. They double, they blitz that. Outside, a wide open look for Adelaide. They just cannot get it going from the perimeter. Whitcomb couldn't gather the bouncing basketball. And another bite of the cherry for the Lightning. Planeta outside to Ellsworthy. She draws the bump and one. I've liked the look of her in the early stages, Sarah Ellsworthy, being active on both ends of the floor, Nick.
Yeah, Matt, and that's what the game's evolved to. It's evolved to having multiple playmakers to be able to get in seams and create opportunities for shooters. And as you can see in that one, drops the shoulder onto the attacking the high hip of Edmondson and is able to get herself to the foul line.
Can't complete the three-point play. She actually won the best defensive player for North Adelaide in the Premier League competition last year, tied for that award with the Rockets. 7 points the margin. Adelaide still fighting hard. Whitcomb, eyes off a three. That's deep and comes up with nothing but 0-2, an air ball. 21 and a half seconds, so you would think the last possession now for the Lightning.
Some extended pressure here from Perth to try to get the ball out of Logic's hands again. As you can see, an early trap, force someone else to be a decision maker. Now they need to get back in transition, defend the paint, build that wall, and come up with a loose ball like they have now.
Yeah, and it was a 3-on-1 in their favour, and they turn it over. 8 turnovers in the term for the Lightning. 23 plays 16. The Lynx will look to hold for the last shot. Down to 6 seconds now for Levy. What can she do? Inside the final 5, she gets it out to Miovic on the buzzer. No dice for the Perth Lynx. Well, the first term in the books here. Round 4 of the WNBL. The Lynx looking to take top spot with a win today. And the Lightning, after falling in a big hole early in the term, have fought back. 7 points the margin, 23 plays 16. And we're going to head on over and listen to one of the best in the business, the head coach of the Mac Adelaide Lightning, Chris Lucas, and their team huddle.
Guys, you know what I'm going to say. Look after the basketball. Like, we've done a great work ethic is great. We've really worked ourselves back in the game. We're letting ourselves down. Look after the ball. Okay, if you play in stance, you'll be in great shape. Okay? Alright, I want to run into Shannon, you go opposite Pat, alright? And so you go running post through, we're in shirt. Okay, Pat's coming into this. So you're coming through, setting that back kick, shirt. Okay, step out, Tay, and then come back in and get it. Pat's coming off with that shot there. Sam, they're ready to stand. So off the track, 2 movements. Kick and penetrate, kick and shot. Alright? So you pull back and then attack. Alright, there we go.
The thoughts there of the head coach of the Adelaide Lightning, Chris Lucas, from Townsville to Adelaide after winning 2 titles on the trot. Nick, what was your take, firstly, of the timeout and also some of the numbers at quarter time?
Yeah, I think he's emphasising and pleading with his team to really make sure they, A, control tempo a little bit better and slow down and take care of the basketball, but B, defensively, try to locate Whitcomb as early as possible and get the ball out of her hands as soon as you possibly can. Whitcomb now, for the Lynx, leading the way with 9 points and has been effective at both sides of the floor right now for the Lynx.
All right, second term's underway. Whitcomb inside to Edmondson. Outside to Miovic, little jab step, put the ball on the floor. Nice finish on the left-hand side of the bucket. And the first blood of the second term goes the way of the Lynx.
And that's the part of her game she's developed now. Once they start taking her airspace away from the three-point line, being able to put it on the deck and get herself to the rim.
25-16. Shannon Mackay throws the ball out of court, unfortunately. Daughter of Mike Mackay, former Olympian, NBL player. Barely 30 seconds travelled in the term. Whitcomb. Now to Miovic. They look to patiently set up the offense. Whitcomb looks to operate on the pick and roll. Burton dive to the basket was ignored. Edmondson 6 to shoot. 1-on-1, just too athletic. Blew past Mackay, nice finish.
She's been so impressive. Last week against Canberra, this week early now against Adelaide, been able to create opportunities, blow past the defender and get herself to the rim. What an impact.
So Planetta having to play the ball handler at the moment. Gets the ball over the timeline and Miovic sensed an opportunity, however impeded Planetta's progress. She racks up another personal foul, her second and first team foul now of this term, as Ruth Hamblin returns. Mijovic with a breather and 2 personal fouls.
Yeah, and something she probably doesn't need to do, because, you know, Adelaide at this stage, who have got 9 turnovers, are going to give you an opportunity to come up with some extra possessions.
Logic picked up her dribble and has to give it outside. In goes Ellsworthy, and she's been fouled. Will go to the line to shoot 2.
She's been aggressive off the bounce early. As you can see here, she really crosses over, long step, initiated what looked like the contact, but Edmondson not getting in position early enough to be able to contain that penetration.
South Australian country representative in under-16, actually captained South Australia country in the under-18 team back in 2015, and she's impressed with her early efforts here. Second one is good, and right as we talk her up, Nick, she gets subbed out. So returning for the Lightning, Jordan Hunter, 27 plays 18. Sammy Wickham, 3 weeks in a row, been named to the WNBL Team of the Week. Out to Tanea Phillips. Burt inside to Hamblin, and a foul underneath the basket will be charged to Taylor Roberts, who led the Lightning at quarter time in scoring 8 points.
Having the ability to be able to isolate Hamblin down low with 3 perimeter threats outside is what the Lynx have been able to establish here early.
Burt, long, 18-foot jumper was long. Well done, Tanea Phillips. Looks to shake and bake. Oh, she lifted her pivot foot, got away with the travel. Now to Wickham, 5 to shoot now. Wide open from downtown. You cannot do that to one of the league's best.
Are you serious? I mean, that's ridiculous. That's that good. To be able to work off the bounce, step back, pull up 3. There aren't too many people in the WNBL and the NBL that have that ability.
Taylor Roberts answers right back. She's up to double digits in scoring, 10 points this afternoon. Looks to be the main offensive threat in the early stages. Phillips into Wickham. Ran into a double team, has to kick it out to the 45. Levy rattles home the 3. Great vision from Wickham, spotting the double team. The skip pass was beautiful.
Matt, do you think these girls enjoy passing the ball to each other? This is going to turn into the house of highlights this afternoon if they can't contain any pass or dribble penetration for open triples just like we saw then.
And a good foot behind the long line, if you don't mind, there from Tessa Levy. Now, we'll cross back into the Adelaide team huddle. Chris Lucas about to address his charges.
Defensively, you need to back yourself. Got that? Play with aggression. Both ends. Keep being aggressive on the offensive end. Be positive with the ball. Defensive end, we're backed off now. They're executing their stuff and catching, making catches wherever they want it. Okay, out of the timeout here. I want us to go 2 off scores, but you need to know where the shooters are. Everyone got that? Okay. Let's have a look at Horns 5 again. All right, execute it. All right, look at the bailout if it's not there. Any trap on the ball screen, okay, make sure you make yourself available. 3 stops in a row off the timeout here. All right, let's go.
1, 2, 3, go!
All right, pretty clear the instructions from head coach Chris Lucas. They need stops on the defensive end of the floor and fast.
Yeah, they certainly do, Matt. And I think they're going to probably look at playing a bit of zone here, off makes, and he's talked about locating shooters. So it sounds like they could be in some form of 2-3 zone back here to try to, you know, contain what they're getting so easily offensively for the Lynx.
The Lynx shooting 4 from 11 from the land of plenty. Contrast to last week's struggles from the perimeter against UC Capitals. And Planetta's drawn the foul, and whether it's shooting 2, we'll yet to see. No, before the shot.
But again, a more aggressive and positive approach to offense, and that's what he implored in their timeout, to be more aggressive and stay positive in everything that they do.
7:35 remains in this opening term. Into Logic, and bounces it out errantly. That'll be a backcourt violation. Almost approaching double digits in the turnover department there for the Adelaide Lightning. And Logic struggling a little out there. They've been met with some stiff opposition on the defensive end of the floor from the Lynx.
We can see every time she comes off on balls, they're reading her or they're blitzing her, which means they're going to double and get the ball out of her hands. They feel that they don't have anyone substantial enough to be able to orchestrate offense for them once she doesn't have possession. And as we just talked about, straight away Adelaide into a 2-3 zone, and we're able to come up with a turnover.
Ambitious to say the least there from Lavey, trying to force that looping pass inside to Hamblin, who had the steal. Well done, Phillips. Got a great hand on the ball and managed to effect the turnover. Much like a defensive lineman in the NFL, Nick just getting up, swatting the pass from the quarterback. Wickham dumps it inside to Burton, the friendly roll. Good for another 2. Great vision again from Sammy.
It doesn't matter what defense you play. If you can't keep a player in front of you and be good in containment, positive things will happen for the offense. On that occasion, Whitcomb creating an easy opportunity down low.
15 points to margin, the biggest of the ball game. Can Hodges bite into that? Or in and out? Here they look to push again. Phillips up the near side to Whitcomb. Skip past Lavey. Can she repeat her last one? No. Rimmed out this time for the Australian Opal. And the Lightning go back the other way. Logic, can she get it going? Well done, Hamblin. Her 12th block shot of the season. Come over. Managed to get a big paw on the ball, swatting it away. And they turn it over as Logic was out of bounds. So almost the double play effectively as Keisha Lee waits to check back in. Sammy Whitcomb will check out.
So impressed with her ability to be able to get back in transition for a player of her size and have that presence and contest that shot. They're things that you just can't teach. That's an inner will inside her, and she knows what her role is, and to be able to impact defensively by contesting and blocking shots is huge for the Lynx.
Now, former development player Ashley Grant has just come on to loud cheers from the crowd. Lakeside Lightning player here, last year's WSBL Most Improved Player of the Year. Phillips looking for the 2-man game, just hung in the air, was a little strong off the glass. 35 plays 20. Oh, risky pass again as Lavey was right on the hammer there of good. And the officials indicate the foul on Lavey. A little overzealous in trying to get up in the passing lane. 4 team fouls, the only real issue in this term at the moment on the scoreboard for the Lynx.
Yeah, they'll just need to make some adjustments on their pressure. The officials have now started calling it a little bit tighter and closer. They're going to have to continue to apply it because that's something which is a strength of theirs, but just some quick adjustments.
Approaching the midway point of the turn. Well done, Logic, just spun, found the cutting Hodges, and unfortunately, again, no dice for her. 15 points to the margin. Lee, a very early 3 again in transition. Here come the Lightning, 3-on-2 coming the other way. Good, just goes herself, dials her own number, and a nice finish. Another 2 there for the Lightning. That was much needed.
Poor transition defense there off the quick shot from Lee, not getting back in numbers and not containing the ball. Gave Adelaide that easy opportunity.
Lavey, she's feeling the hot hand at the moment. Why not, Tessa? Swishes the 3 for the 45.
And able to extend the lead for them now, out to 16. Big shot for Tessa. Boosting for confidence now for her.
38 to 22. Again, they double that on-ball screen to the Lynx. They swing it around to the corner and they run out of tarmac yet again. How many times, Nik Lacovic, have we seen the Lightning just not being aware of their surroundings, stepping out of court before receiving the pass?
And you're dead right. That's just poor court awareness. At the same time, great pressure from the Lynx, forcing every catch of Adelaide to have to be deeper and wider.
We are exactly halfway through the second term. Hamblin got the seal down low on Hodges. She'll be called for the foul. That'll be her second of the ball game. The milestone player this afternoon for the Adelaide Lightning. And Ruth Hamblin gets to go back to the charity stripe shooting 2.
She's been so positive for the Lynx, each game improving in her role and her responsibility at both ends of the floor. You know what she can do in changing shots defensively, and now having that presence and being able to seal down low and get herself to the foul line, enabling Perth to set up their extended pressure if she can hit both.
Taylor Roberts back into the game, the only scorer for the Lightning in double digits. So her impact's going to be felt immediately, you would think, for the Lightning. Hamblin, former Oregon State player, Pac-12 Player of the Year back in 2012, leaves the second one short. 39 to 22. Live on LynxTV, thanks to LMSC, Matt Cecins, Nik Lacovic, and Mark Cometti bring you all the action here from Perth. Logic ran into a dead end again. Long 3 on the way, and again the well's just drying up from the perimeter. Great vision from Lavey, spotted Wickham in a 1-out on the sideline, just blows past her opponent, has to chase up her own miss, couldn't get it to go. Hamblin couldn't gather the crumbs either. Finally, a bit of respite for the Lightning. Coming back the other way now, Logic inside the middle of the paint. Look to retreat, back it out. Shot clock down to 10 to Hodges, guarded by Mijovic. Logic outside to Hunter. Only had 5 to shoot. The runner was unsuccessful. 4 minutes to play now, opening term. Edmondson, oh, well done, Lavey. Just dove to the basket. Well done, Edmondson. Picked a dribble up, spun around and spotted the cutting Lavey.
And that's just being able to push the ball and catch them on their heels at all times. Perth are running downhill on Adelaide in defence, and Adelaide just can't contain the ball of the Lynx.
Little runner there, couldn't go for Taylor Roberts again. This time Edmondson with a bounce pass, Lavey. Quick transition, pull-up jumper was no good. Well done, Hodges. Maybe not impacting on the scoreboard, but her efforts have been noted on the defensive glass at this stage for the Lightning. 41-22, 3:15 remains. They double again the on ball. That allows Hodges that lane to go baseline and finish on the left-hand side.
Great separation off that on ball by Hodges. Caught the Lynx in a rotation. Hamblin had to step out of her comfort zone. Hodges able to put the ball on the floor, rip past her and get to the rim.
And well, Andy Stewart has spotted a few things he's not happy with. He's called a timeout. 3 minutes exactly remains in the second term. The Lynx 41, the Lightning 24. Let's head into the team huddle of the Perth Lynx.
They adapt to the level that they live at. Their blood's thicker, they can breathe better. Right? We learn how to play fatigue, and then we adapt to it. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't keep running and getting tired and then going, I'm tired. Go, you know what? This is the style of game that I have to get used to. We've got a decent league, but I want us to get ready for the rest of our game style for the ongoing weeks. And a part of that is, even if I'm tired, I still keep pushing until I'm almost dropping. And then your body will start to adapt to it in weeks to come. You know what I'm saying? Yep, got it. Keep pushing, keep the pressure on. Keep working.
1, 2, 3,
Coach Stewart just emphasising that it's not just about today, Matt, it's about the bigger picture, enabling them to effectively wanting to challenge the girls to get uncomfortable, being comfortable getting uncomfortable, like pushing their body to the limit of knowing where they can get to. And the emphasis is there defensively. They continue to want to drive the standard and pressure the Lightning as much as possible.
In our pre-game show, we heard from Andy Stewart in the press conference during the week and said that the first couple of rounds have basically been the Lynx pre-season. They've had injuries, they've had disruptions with the Olympics as well. I know a lot of WNBL clubs have suffered the same, but he raises a valid point.
Absolutely. Something that they're going to try to get outside of just the win today, a lot more in terms of their style of play and how they want to create an impact in the competition this year.
Mijovic, step back three, a thing of beauty. She's starting to heat up. Struggled a little from the perimeter, particularly in the first half in that win last week against UC. Or Wickham tried to read that pass out to the wing, almost came up with the interception. 12 to shoot now for the Lightning. Logic, bounce pass out to Nodge, 3 on the way, long. Wickham rose high, much like a ruckman in the AFL, just palmed it down to the rover. Phillips almost picked up that pivot foot. Elects to just cool down the offense here. Wide open look at a 3. That did not look like missing. We got a good look at that straight out of her hand, Nik Lacovic.
And again, came off the pull through and penetration of Mijovic, something she's added to her game to get Phillips open.
In comes Logic, gets a bit of penetration out to Nodge. They move it this time to Logic. 9 to shoot now. Outside to Nodge. She hasn't got it going so far. Makes amends there. Swishes the baseline jumper.
Much needed basket for Adelaide. Just about to settle them down now, and hopefully they can get a half-decent set defensively.
Wickham outside to Mijovic. Gets another look from dead in front. Same result. Carbon copy. Carly Mijovic.
She's bringing the heat from the perimeter this afternoon, Matt. A terrific look and a great knockdown shooter from outside.
49 to 26, 23 points the margin. 1.5 to play. And losing the handle on the ball, Taylor Roberts, who stood up, one of few to stand up on the offensive end, and she'll check out. Laura Hodges returns, also making way Jordan Hunter. So the Lynx with possession, 1:23 remains until half-time of this round 4 clash. Edmondson, guarded by Nodge on the wing, outside to Burton. Now to Levy. Edmondson looking to put it on the floor. Nice spin, fall away jumper. No dice for her.
Nat Burton.
Brilliant. And the pass as well. Oh, Edmondson, maybe just a little too much speed on approach. Couldn't stick the landing. And they dodge a bullet there to the Mac Adelaide Lightning.
But the effort of Nat Burton and the energy to get a hand on that ball and create another opportunity for the Lynx.
Here for Nodge. Looks to feed it inside to Hodge. Nice, savvy little shoulder fake, and then the wheel to her right, and a polished finish from one of the best players in the comp.
And that's part of her strength. She would like to try to get as close to the basket as possible and finish easy.
Edmondson, with a bit of a miscommunication breakdown there from the Lightning, allows her to score straight underneath the basket, 51-28. 2 possessions you would think remaining in this second term. 6 seconds, the differential between game and shot clock for the Lightning. Logic has to, again, pick up her dribble. Outside to the wing, looking to operate in close quarters. Shannon Mackay lost the handle. 4 seconds now, 3 seconds, 2. The Lynx will get one, and a cheap basket to round out what has been an impressive effort on both the offense and defensive end of the floor, as we see Edmondson right on the siren for halftime. 53-28 at the main change. We're just trying to spot our sideline reporter, and Mark Cometti is going to chase down Tessa Levy for us. And we'll cross down to Mark Cometti, who's got Tessa Levy, the captain of the Perth Lynx.
G'day Tessa, how are you? First off, how is the ankle faring?
Yeah, it feels really good. Stoked to get our full court on the training court this week, and I feel really good out there, so I'm really happy.
It's good, and we saw the coach wanting to put you guys to push the pace a lot in that first half. What did you notice different this game to games gone by?
Yeah, for sure. We've been a bit slow in our full court transition, and that was a focus of ours during the week, so we're really happy with it during the first half. We just got to keep that pressure on. I know we're out by 20 or more, but we want to show the rest of the comp that we're for real this year.
So what do you do at halftime just to maintain that sort of momentum and make sure there's no let up from the girls, knowing that you are so far ahead?
Yeah, just a lot of focus. It's like at halftime, we start from scratch. It's 0-0. We come out again trying to lock down absolutely everything, and just make sure we communicate in the rooms and make sure that happens during this second half.
No worries at all. I'll let you catch your breath. Thanks very much. Thanks for joining us. Great first half, and best of luck for the second.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Take care. Back to you, boys.
Thanks there to our sideline reporter, Mark Cometti, putting Tessa Levy under the grill. Matt Cecins and Nik Lacovic here. First half dominated, fair to say, by the Lynx, 53-28. We're very privileged now to be joined by one of the satellite coaches of the Perth Lynx, Tom Knowles. Tom, very good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon to you guys too.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Just explain to us the satellite coaching program with the Perth Lynx, what you're so right in the thick of at the moment.
Yeah, so what we've got in place is there's 3 satellite coaches, Jess Vanshee, Andrew Cooper and myself, and it allows us to be pretty flexible with respect to running a lot of small breakdowns and training sessions, and focus on specific things for specific players, and maybe break down some specific sets within the offense for the groups, the guard groups, big groups.
And you personally, how are you finding the program and your involvement with it?
Look, it's fantastic. You know, from a coach development perspective for me, I've been fortunate enough to be involved with WNBL for a few seasons now, as an assistant coach last year as well with the Lynx, and it's just, my development's gone through the roof as a coach, and it's just amazing, you know, how much you learn and how much you realise that you still need to learn.
What's the biggest aspect of the game since you've been involved in the WNBL that you've noticed different, and the biggest jump from the State League to the WNBL?
It's definitely the tempo of it. Everything happens so much quicker. It's so much harder to try and see everything on the floor from a coaching perspective. That's a big thing for me.
Yeah, and the detail that goes into preparation for opposition teams and your current preparation for game strategy and plan, has that been a big jump up as well for you?
Yeah, definitely, and that's been a big learning curve too. And you know, Ryan's exceptional with respect to putting together scouts, and learned a lot from him, and been able to apply a lot of that in the state league last year as an assistant coach, and hopefully be able to apply a lot more of it this year as well.
Tom, it's no secret the Perth Lynx set the bar in women's sport as far as being full-time professional outfit. They're the first in Australian women's sport at doing that. How noticeable is that in the day-to-day operations of the club, and the pleasure that you get for working with such a highly professional outfit?
Yeah, it's incredible. It's awesome to be involved with. You know, every box is ticked. There's no stone unturned. Every little detail is looked after, and even on game day, things just go like clockwork. Everyone knows their role. There's just no guesswork involved. Everyone knows what they need to do when they turn up, and it has a huge impact on our ability to get things done at training as well.
And you personally, Tom, who has sort of taken you under their wing as such within the organisation, or someone that you can look up to, or also bounce off any ideas that you have?
Yeah, look, probably Andy, I guess, would be the one that I would refer to the most.
Excellent. Tom, we thank you so much for your time, and best of luck. A tremendous program, the satellite coaching program at the Perth Lynx. Good luck for the second half. It looks all good at the moment. Thank you so much for spending some time with us this afternoon.
Great, thanks guys.
Satellite coach there for the Perth Lynx in Tom Knowles. Nik Lacovic is furiously having a look at those numbers at half-time. It's not good reading if you're a Mac Adelaide Lightning fan, Nick. More pleasurable reading from the Lynx point of view.
Well, some glaring things that jump off the stat line immediately is the turnover count for the Adelaide Lightning, 14-4. Perth plus 10 in that area. 5 steals to the Lynx as opposed to only 2. And then you've got a couple of block shots from the Lynx as well. And the 3-point shooting percentage from the Adelaide Lightning at the moment, 0%, 0 from 5. We know that they're second in the league in attempts from the 3-point line. Those statistics, when they can't put pressure from the perimeter and they don't look after the basketball, have given them, what have we got right now, a 25-point disadvantage for the Lightning.
Obviously some mistakes too of the live stats that were handed, because we did have Roberts in double digits for scoring. She's only got 8. Laura Hodges leads them with 9 points to half-time. The execution on offense in the Lynx, Nick, been first rate. Edmondson on 11, Whitcomb on 12, Mijovic on 10. That's 3 scorers in double digits.
Well, I want to talk about Sammy for a second. She's 50%, 5 for 10 from the field, 12 points, but it's the 8 assists of the team's 17 that she has at halftime that is most impressive. She's so creative with the ball, able to work off the bounce, get herself an opportunity to the rim. We saw the step back 3 from the perimeter coming off a split screen door action, and then to be able to create for her teammates. And a lot of that has been out of transition. We saw that last basket at the end of the half, that pass underneath to Edmondson. Yeah. They just run the lane so hard and reward each other. They love passing the basketball.
All right, halftime, just repeating that score. The Lynx 53, the Lightning 28. We'll see how Sammy Whitcomb goes. It's fair to say that she will be getting another nomination in the WNBL Team of the Week for the 4th week running. Time for a short breather here, just 5 minutes until we get the third term underway. We'll see if the Mac Adelaide Lightning can respond or whether the Perth Lynx show will continue. We'll be right back. Round 4 of the WNBL. Welcome back to the Bendat Basketball Centre. We're about to start the third term. Round 4 of the WNBL season for 2016-17 sees the Lynx with one hand on top spot at the moment. A win over here will get them to leapfrog 4 positions on the table this afternoon. The Adelaide Lightning still looking for their first win, 53-28. Matt Cecins here and calling all the action for you live on LynxTV. Thanks again to LMSC for the live stream this afternoon. My co-commentator, Nik Lacovic, and also Mark Cometti, our sideline reporter. Nick, what do the Lightning need to do to come out in this second half?
Well, the first thing they're going to have to do, Matt, is take care of the basketball. They're going to give themselves no opportunity to claw back into this league if they continue to turn the ball over. So they're going to have to slow down, make sure that they can get both Laura Hodges and Roberts touches on the interior. Logic's going to have to deal with the pressure that she's had in the first half better as well.
Sammy Wickham, your game high scorer, 12 points. Taylor Roberts does have 10 points, so the stats people keeping us on our toes. Can the Lightning start the third term by getting the first basket? Hodges, game 200, left it short. And Wickham comes up with the rebound, looking to push again. It's been a feature of their game so far. Edmondson knocked down 1 already in the first term and has dried up since. Outside, and for the 5th or 6th time that I can count, Nik Lacovic, the Lightning stepping out of court before receiving a pass.
Pretty incredible at this level in this competition that players are still putting themselves in spots where that happens quite often. Matt, the Lynx 7 for 16 in the first half from the three-point line, good for 44% from the three-point line. An incredible statistic only at the half.
Yep. And still looking for our first basket of this third term. Levy, the opal, no look, over the shoulder pass was pretty and found the Canadian hammer. Rolling to the basket, she gets our first basket of the third term. Sarah Ellsworthy, liked her work so far, off to Roberts, trying to put in points 11 and 12, couldn't do so. Hamlin just controlling both ends of the floor at the moment. Levy, full court pass out to Edmondson, and that was a poor pass, trying to find Sammy Wickham on the wing. Right on Ellsworthy. Over to Nodge, they swing it to the top now, and Logic guarded by Levy. Outside again to Ellsworthy. 10 to shoot as they turn it over yet again. Here comes Levy, foot race down the other end. Too nimble for her opponent and Taylor Roberts. Back-to-back baskets now for the Perth Lynx, and the margin getting out of control for the Lightning.
The activity of Levy, Whitcomb and Edmondson in the back court is creating havoc for the Lightning this afternoon.
Hodges has not been able to get it going offensively this afternoon. Another one unsuccessful, this time from 8 feet. Edmondson, well done Nodge, managed to corral her in that low part of the keyway, forced her to retreat out for the Lynx. Levy's got single digits on the shot clock to operate with. Tries to blow past Hodges to Wickham, one of the best in the business. That is why. Another three-point field goal, and Chris Lucas has to call a timeout. We haven't even traveled 2 minutes. How's the work here from Levy? Spotting a wide open Wickham, and a good metre and a half behind the three-point line, makes no mistake. Let's head into the team huddle right now. of the Adelaide Lightning.
Ball screen here. When are we going too deep? I never said we're going two under. Any ball screen. Did I? All right, turnover. Did you see the help? Guys, you can't do this. I can't be burning timeouts a minute and a half into the game. I can't be doing it. Listen here. When Lady drives baseline, why do we overhelp? Gave an open three. You got sucked in. Eva got sucked in. Bang, bang. Three. Don't overhelp. More ahead of here. Okay. Sam, go to trans and force. You get the ball through hand. Okay, let's go.
The thoughts there of the head coach of the Lightning, Chris Lucas. Nik Lacovic, your take on that timeout for the Lightning?
Breakdowns on their rules on defence, Matt. Their on-ball coverages going under, which he emphasised they've never been told to do. Penetration in the containment of Tessa Lavey, turning their head and not being connected to the perimeter, where they have shooters like Whitcomb knocking down shots.
Here comes Ellsworthy outside to Hodges. Closed out there from Hamblin. Whitcomb, oh, she read that pass. Off to the races. There'll be no stopping her. 2 more for Sammy. She goes to 17 in the ball game. She had 8 assists in the first half.
9-0 run to start the second half here. They were outscored in the second quarter 30-12, and they've started horrifically again here in this third quarter.
Logic crosses out Whitcomb. That was a nice move. Outside to Ellsworthy from the wing, short. Keisha Lee enjoying some extra minutes this afternoon. 2-on-1 coming the other way. Whitcomb just pulled up, stepped through, caught on the arm and won. She had an option to her right, dialed her own number. Another classy finish from one of the best players in the WNBL, Nick.
Well, the house of highlights this afternoon for the Perth Lynx, slithering away to the rim at ease, anytime, being able to find her players on the perimeter. Lavey running wide and creating some separation in transition, enabling Whitcomb to get herself to the rim and now to the free throw line for the old school three-point play.
Yep, and she checks out, probably to ice down her shooting hand. She's been red hot to start this half. She had 8 dimes in the first half. She checks out with 17 points. Here comes Nodge. Had a wide open look, elected not to pull the trigger. Logic from downtown, short. Well done, Lee. Back-to-back rebounds on defensive possessions for the Lynx. We've travelled 3 minutes in this third term. 65-28, a big lead. Courtney Burns, one of the local players for the Lakeside Lightning, getting some burn for the Lynx. 8 to shoot now for Lavey. Inside to Hamblin. Oh, well done there from Planeta. Got the deflection and another poor pass. This time, Lavey going the other way. She's got Burns to her left, uses her. Can she get her first field goal? No, it was short. And clearly a little nerves there from the local WSBL staff of the Lakeside Lightning.
You could see Tessa recognising that she was running down the left side of the floor there, Courtney Burns, and try to get her that easy 2-pointer. She could have probably ran a little harder and finished at the rim on that occasion.
Now, not good signs because Keisha Lee is down in the paint area, just outside the paint area. We hope that she's okay, Keisha Lee. And she's made a good start, particularly the third term on the glass, and she's still down at the moment in the hands of the trainers. One thing's for sure, the Perth Lynx not short of staff. Let's cross down to Mark Cometti, who's on the sideline right now on the baseline.
So it looks like she's had some type of head injury. She's holding her head down this side of the court, so I'm not specific on that, obviously, but just it looks like she's in some pain and maybe a bit dazed and confused.
Okay, well, we hope that's not going to be a serious head injury for Lee, but she's in good hands, and the officials have actually called a timeout. Mark Cometti, our sideline reporter, I'm sure he'll be all over that this afternoon, and Lee is still down currently at the moment. Nick, we obviously wish her all the best and hope that she's okay. Let's have a look at the Adelaide Lightning. In my opinion, the state of South Australia has set the bar historically in producing some of Australia's best players.
Absolutely. If you have a look at both sides of the coin, Rachel Spawn, Jan Sterling as a coach, Brett Maher, Chris Blakemore, someone that I'd played against at juniors and also in the NBL for a couple of short years.
Obviously, Laura Hodges as well. Michelle Brogan comes to mind. Current crop, if you have a look at the players that they produced, Abby Bishop, who's in the WNBA, Lauren Mansfield, we saw her handiwork for UC Capitals just last week. Steph Talbot has gone over to Poland. Kayla George and Tess Madgen, a great breeding ground for WNBL players in particular.
Yeah, and there's an abundance of talent there. It all starts at the junior level where they've been coached so well, and the foundations and put in place with all the fundamental skills, and it's great to see them go on to some higher success. Either through their state leagues or through their WNBL teams here. But for the Lightning right now, we're 4.5 minutes into the third quarter, still scoreless, sitting at 28 points, unable to contain the Lynx in both the half court and in transition.
And clearly a team that's rebuilding. I mean, they were the dominant team back in the 90s. They went on a three-peat in the early 90s. In fact, they won 4 titles in the space of around 5 seasons. Their last title in 07-08, and that was a 10-point win over the Sydney Uni Flames. On the 27th of July, the BA basically endorsed the Adelaide 36ers coming on board and creating that partnership similar to what happened with the Perth Lynx when the Perth Wildcats overtook administration-wise the club there. And let's hope that the club can bounce back. The one positive thing from the 36ers is that they've got a host of young local talent that they're giving WNBL exposure to, at least over the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, and it's been great. We had an opportunity to speak to Joey Wright on NBL Nation and gave us a good insight into their whole Adelaide program, from their WNBL side to their NBL side, and what they're trying to build there. Everyone knows they're not a huge budget franchise, so credit goes to them. They're trying to develop internally and within and continue to try to create footprints for their juniors coming through.
Yeah, and it's great to see some of the Premier League stars out on the WNBL floor. Now, Keisha Lee has walked off the court, so that is good signs, and we are good to go. And spilled a bit of claret too, because they needed to come on and mop that, so we hope she's okay. Back to the action, 65-28. What can the Lightning do? Outside, Planetta from the wing. That's better execution. Swishes the three from the baseline.
Great job, good recognition. Finding bodies on screens on that occasion for Adelaide, getting open the shooter and enabling her to get a good opportunity for a wide open look.
And Edmondson blew a wide open layup and the ball goes out of court. So the Lightning catch a break. They still trail by 35 points, approaching the midway point of this third term. Levy still making Logic work for every inch out on that floor. Clearly won that battle this afternoon. They double again. Logic has to pick up her dribble. Good vision outside to Nodge from the wing. That's 2 in a row from her as she swishes the three.
Much needed basket there for Adelaide just to settle. And you can see what it's done, Matt. It's created some extra energy on the defensive end of the floor, creating a turnover in the backcourt. Something unusual for Tessa Levy.
So, poor execution for the first time this afternoon for the Lynx. Mijovic looked like a travel on that catch. Hands off to Levy. Pull up Jay. No good. Another stop. Well done to Adelaide and Nat Burton. A reckless foul in the backcourt. One, I'm sure, makes coaches lose hair or either change the colour of their original hair, as Ashley Grant will check back in. And Sammy Whitcomb will add a bit more poise, I think, on offence, would you say, Nik Lacovic, to the Lynx outfit at this stage?
Well, you could start there and you could write a list as long as your arm of what Whitcomb brings to this team. Poise is definitely one of them. Perimeter threat, intensity, competitiveness. She's the benchmark in the WNBL, in my opinion.
Now, one thing that we have noticed, the Adelaide Lightning do not lay down throughout the early stage of this 2016-17 season. Well done, Planetta. Just put the ball on the floor, a little pull-up Jimmy. That's good for 2.
Heat check right now. Adelaide on a nice little run. 6-0 run as they came out of that timeout.
Burton almost lost the handle under the watchful eye of Hodges. They switch on the screen. Levy outside to Burton. That's a long-range jumper from her, and it was short. And Planetta. So the Lightning getting a bit of momentum here. Let's see what they can muster on this set. Outside to Planetta. She has the hot hand. It doesn't continue. And a foul on the rebounding contest. Jessica Good chopping young Ashley Grant across the shoulder. And the second team foul of the term for the Lightning. No real foul trouble. Mark Cometti's on the sideline, Mark.
On Keisha Lee. She copped the elbow to the jaw. Training staff are saying very questionable to return, obviously, given the state of the game. Back to you, boys.
Thanks for that, Mark. Here's Johnny on the spot. Mark Cometti, our sideline reporter. Wickham, they have the big lead. Has to swing it back to the top now in Edmondson. To Lavey. 7 to shoot for the Lynx. Now down to 4 to shoot. Wickham, one-on-one with Hodges. She'll look to take her off the dribble. Runner on the way. Almost dropped. Just caught the heel of the rim and popped out. Here come the Lightning now. Logic. Off to the trailer. Planetta. 3 on the way was long. She tries to chase her own miss. And Tony Edmondson, so athletic on the glass, pulls down the defensive board. Inside 4 minutes remaining in this third term. A spirited fight back from the Lynx. Entry pass inside to Grant. The youngster's jump hook, no good. And she's been fouled right underneath the basket, either on Good or Planetta. And it'll go on the latter. Colleen Planetta, originally from Arizona.
Good execution down low there with a high-low action from Burton to Grant. Established herself, finished with a little jump hook over the left shoulder, got her own offensive rebound.
One of the taller lineups you'll see for the Lynx out on the floor at the moment. Into Hamblin. Looks to just back her opponent down. And coming from the good side there, the weak side rather, was Good. And forced the jump ball. Possession areas with the home side.
So Lynx now have got Whitcomb at the point, Edmondson at the 2, Miovic at the 3, Grant at the 4, and Hamblin at the 5.
Some tall timber, that's for sure. 65-37. And 11 seconds for this possession for the Lynx to get off a shot. Wickham bounces it inside to Hamlin. Looks to just bullock her way into the paint. Left-hand jump hook, no good. Guess who? Sammy Wickham puts in her 20th point of the game. Could add to that as well. Tenacious defender in the backcourt. Logic straight down the main street there. Couldn't complete the layup. And again, something untoward on the glass. It'll be called on Carly Miovic, who gives a wry smile, and will stay down this end of the floor with the Lightning in possession. Just 2 team fouls for the Lynx, the Lightning with 3, and we've only got 3.5 or just under to travel in this third term.
Lynx back into a 2-3 zone off the baseline out of bounds here with this bigger lineup.
Well done, Wickham. Slapped the ball out of the clutches of Planetta. Bounces inside to Logic in turn. Over towards Hodges. Finishes high off the window. Nice move from the savvy veteran. Bites into the lead further, 67-39. Tony Edmondson driving into the heart of the paint. Jump stop. Just a little out of control on her jump hook, and that affected her shot. And the finish. Out of court, the Lynx ball.
She's been so great and effective at being able to get past her opponent, get 2 feet in the paint, and create some opportunities by getting the ball above the rim.
And Wickham has her shot blocked this time from Good. 2-on-1 coming the other way. Planetta, well done, just dumped inside. Could have easily have pulled the trigger on that. Instead, the little shovel pass underneath to Hodges. Good for another 2.
Adelaide showing their most encouraging signs of the game right here in the last 3 minutes of this third quarter.
Margin back to 26 points. Edmondson, step back over Good, was an air ball. Here comes Logic. She might need to pull the ball out. She does. She was outnumbered 3-1. Planetta from downtown. She's missed 3 on the trot now. So the 3-point field goal has been non-existent this afternoon. Miovic, on the other hand, the immediate catch and shoot in transition. Nothing but net.
She's so effective there, but the concern for Stewart would be potentially with this bigger lineup there, poor transition defense on the last 2 or 3 possessions. But what Miovic can bring from the perimeter is unquestionable.
3-pointer on the way from Nodge was off to the left, and Wickham was fouled on the rebound from Planetta, and she has her second personal foul. 4 team fouls now for the Lightning, so any more defensive fouls for them puts the Lynx on the line.
And it's amazing, with this larger lineup, Whitcomb was so effective offensively with her perimeter shot. Second quarter, passing the ball. In the third quarter, she's been the one sweeping the glass and been able to get them out in transition.
Great observation from Nik Lacovic, analysing all the action here, round 4. And Ruth Hamblin's going to be called for a foul off the ball. And possession will go back to the Adelaide Lightning. 70-41, inside 2 minutes. remaining. Logic and Lavey have locked horns throughout the afternoon. It's great to see Lavey out there. No minutes restriction this afternoon. 200 gamer Hodges inside the paint. Drew some heavy contact. They let it play. She's outnumbered now, 4-1. Threw the ball on the back of the glass, which is a turnover, out of bounds. And just nowhere to go there for Laura Hodges. And another turnover for the Lightning.
The swarming defense of the Perth Lynx been able to put pressure on Hodges, even in on the interior there, creating that opportunity and that turnover.
Wickham, guarded by Ellsworthy on the 45. Looks to shake and bake her much younger opponent, just muscled her way in.
Wow.
Savvy use of the body and kisses it off the window, good for 2.
The double crossover from the perimeter, working off the bounce and using both sides of her body to be able to finish.
Another missed field goal attempt for the Lightning and another foul in the rebounding contest. We've said that throughout this third term. So the Lynx will gain possession of the basketball. Nat Burton returns. Ruth Hamblin checks out of the ball game. With the start that the Lynx made, Nick, would you agree that starting lineup is a lot more effective than last week? We had Burton into that starting 5.
Well, you can't argue that it isn't. They started off 15-2 in the first quarter. Hamblin gave them that big presence on the interior to be able to back down an opponent.
And it just seemed to light a fire under Nat Burton as well. She came out with a bit of fire in her belly.
She's been so effective. You know, all the small little possessions, deflections, offensive rebound tips, keeping things alive, making her defender be accountable at all times and trying to put a body on her. That creates a high usage of energy. And Burton's, you know, brought that to the Lynx this afternoon. I think she's really relished in a roll off the bench.
Now, a rare sighting of Logic actually getting to the basket. She's been closed down throughout this afternoon, has drawn a foul. So almost dropped for the old-fashioned three-point play. However, she'll go to the line shooting 2. From Racine, Wisconsin. Went to the University of Iowa, the Hawkeyes. Picked number 10 by the Atlanta Dream in the WNBA draft.
And she's not a traditional guard where she's got an explosive quickness where she's going to blow past you to get to the rim. She really executes more of their offense for them by backing opponents down and taking real control of it. So a surprising move, but something that she's definitely got in her game.
They come over and double Wickham in this near side. Mijovic gets a clean side at 3.
Some extended pressure there from Adelaide off the made free throw.
Here comes Logic going the other way. Inside the paint, stray pass out of bounds. Lynx will gain the basketball. 33.8 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Round 4 of the WNBL. Thanks for joining us live on LynxTV. Thanks again to LMSC. And we'll be throughout the WNBL home games for the Lynx. It's great to have your company this season. Mijovic steps back on the 3 and just maybe that step back.
The challenge, and the challenge for the Lynx here, Matt, is to have a little bit of patience in their half-court offense. Sometimes you can play at a pace knowing that you're up 31 at this point in game, and players can play a little bit quick. So it'll be interesting to see how Coach Stewart challenge them to really work on their finer points in execution on the half-court. Logic
tried to go herself, couldn't get the layup to drop. Here comes Lavey, just 2 seconds. Wickham to turn for home. Brilliant find from Lavey. And as soon as the ball was mid-path to Sammy Wickham, Nik Lacovic, you kind of knew that that was going to drop.
You look on the replay, the recognition and the 1-2 combo punch of Lavey and Wickham, being able to create those opportunities with minimum time on the clock. Really impressive in what Tess has brought to today's game.
We turn for home, 3-quarter time, and Sammy Wickham is up to 23 points, a game high in scoring. Let's hear from the head coach of the Lynx, Andy Stewart.
So we have to get very good at the zone. Very good. You're out. I want you to be disciplined. Hey, I want you to be disciplined. Forget about this. The game's ours. Now we've got a motivated opposition running against our zone defense. And we're doing all the little things. We're standing in the right spot. You're reading the fact that she's going to catch the ball and you're on there on the catch. We've got a hand in front of the post. We're screaming our butts on the wing. We're hustling across. I don't want to do anything cheap. But we stand and watch it go. I want us to get better at it. Because we might be. Yeah, we're in it. No, we will black when we don't have 3 posts.
1, 2, 3.
One quarter remaining, and it's been the Perth Lynx throughout. They've led at every end of each term, 76-42. Nik Lacovic, your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I just touched on before the end of the third quarter about whether or not he'll challenge this team into the finer points of their execution, and that's the one thing that he emphasised in that timeout, is they want to be good against the zone. It's easy to play quick, one pass into a quick shot. They know right now, they've acknowledged that this game has been won. It's now going to come down to, let's get something else out of this game right now. Let's get great against executing against the zone, in particular with a larger lineup with Miovic in the front line, with Burton and Hamblin.
Now, the nasty incident, unfortunate incident in the third term with Keisha Lee going down, but with what looked to be a head injury around the jaw region. She's back sitting up on the bench, a towel over the face, so obviously in a bit of distress, but we'll doubt whether we'll see her reappear for the remainder of the game. Lightning looking to draw first blood in this term, 76-42. Inside to the wing there, area there, the jump shot unsuccessful. Whitcomb, another rebound. She's starting to stuff the stat sheet well and truly. Going the other way, gets rid of Ellsworthy, and again is going to be called for the offensive foul, unfortunately. She went with the fend off, the arm bar on the first one, got away with it, unsuccessful at the second attempt. And Sarah Ellsworthy, if we have a look, good footwork rather, from Ellsworthy, and drawing the offensive foul out of Sammy Whitcomb. Yet to see our first basket of this. Miovic threw it up high to Burton, and Planetta coming from the weak side ties her up illegally, called for her third personal foul of the afternoon.
The point forward skills of Carly Miovic, advancing the ball in transition and running rim to rim, Nat Burton.
Inside now to Burton, putting the ball on the floor. Gives it to a more accomplished ball handler in Lavey. Had a pass batted down. 10 seconds to shoot for the Lynx. Lavey says, I'll do it myself. Oh, almost dropped for a 2. Here comes Jordan Hunter going the other way. Outside, Planetta, they swing it back. Mackay now down to Jordan Hunter. Pull-up jumper was good. And a nice looking jump shot there from Jordan Hunter. Southeast Missouri State. Originally from New Zealand. Whitcomb looks for that post-entry feed into Miovic, and a little stiff there. Shannon Mackay called for the foul. Looked like she had 2 hands on the ball there and not on the opponent. However, it'll be a personal foul nonetheless.
Good recognition by the Perth Lynx here. Understand with that big front line that they've got in the game right now, there's going to be some mismatches down low. On that occasion, it was Mackay, and was able to find that down low.
Oh, Whitcomb just managed to go and ghost in towards the basket unattended. The 2 points will count. She has been fouled. She is now up to 25 points, looking for her 26th. And Nick, we don't like the look of this. And no offence to Tony Edmondson, who's about to check in, but she will check in for the shooter. We want the triple-double from Sammy, surely.
I'm sure she'll probably get another opportunity through the course of this quarter to get in. Not that Sammy plays, and she's not a player for that ability, but it'd be nice to reward her today.
Right on cue, Nick, too. When you know someone's going to sub in for you on the shooter, you miss the foul shot, particularly in a big lead. Sammy's the ultimate professional. We're sure that she wouldn't resort to those tactics. Here she is guarding good skip passes over to the far side. Single digits now to work with for the shot clock and the Lightning. Inside to Hodges from the elbow. I think Hamlin got a piece of that. I'm not sure if she'll be registered with a block shot. Lavey. Inside 8 minutes. Miovic on the trail, 3. Well done, Hamlin. Offensive board and the putback.
And that's where they can hurt you right now with this big front line of Miovic, Hamlin and Burton. A perimeter player like Miovic, then you've got Hamlin and Burton crashing the glass, getting their hands on the ball and finishing with high percentage shots.
Chris Lucas, the head coach of the Lightning, has called a timeout and will head into his team huddle very shortly.
Aurora's made a screen to the centre, Taylor's coming to the elbow, and we're skipping the ball to Sarah. Why? Inside inside out. Does anybody here doesn't know what we're doing? Know how to run it. We're allowing them to practice their zone. All right, so practice our offense. Okay, inside out, move the ball. Is everyone got it? Okay, how many stops are we on? None. All right, we need to get this done. Be positive against the offense, inside out. All right, let's go.
Nik Lacovic.
Some clear frustrations in the voice of the coach from the Lightning. Alerting the girls right now at the start of this fourth quarter, they haven't been able to string a single stop together defensively, and they're giving Perth the ability to execute their zone offense with this big front line, and it's almost turned into a bit of a training run, Matt.
We'll see how the final 7 minutes and 45 seconds pan out. Nik Lacovic, thanks for your thoughts. Providing his insightful commentary this afternoon on LynxTV. Ellsworthy to the corner now, in good. Retreats outside to Hodges from the baseline, good.
And that's where she can hurt you. From the short corner, they lifted the baseline zone defender. Hamblin had to X out to the short corner. Hodges squared up the shoulders, knocked down two. Quick release, as you can see right on the replay.
Edmondson works off that screen from Hamblin to Burton. Long way out from her. Ash Grant back to the top, and Edmondson, 6 to shoot. Lavey dials her own number from the 45, in and out. Taylor Roberts with the board. 80 to 46, inside 7 minutes remaining in the ball game. Roberts on the trail, catch and shoot long. And Grant has been fouled in the backcourt. The youngster, Sarah Ellsworthy, will be charged with her third personal foul. 4 team fouls, so the Lynx will be in the bonus with their next defensive foul as Jordan Hunter makes her way off the floor. Sam Logic returns to the action.
Some extended pressure here from Adelaide, going back into a 2-3 zone.
Grant assesses her options, out to Lavey. Edmondson now blows past Logic on the baseline, fouled. And it'll be a baseline ball for the Perth Lynx.
Edmondson, so creative off the dribble. Her first option isn't a catch and shoot from the perimeter, but you can see here, she just moves so well, sweeps through to the baseline.
First step is so quick.
Oh, just the drive foot off that left foot to be able to blow past that defender.
So the Lynx in the bonus, Tony Edmondson from Christchurch, New Zealand. Represented New Zealand at 3 Oceania Championships back in 11, 13 and 15. Formerly played for Dandenong, Bendigo and Adelaide, but has found her groove at the Perth Lynx well and truly.
Perth back into the 2-3 again, working on their bigger lineup to throw some different options at oppositions here.
Hodges, skip past to Logic, 6 to shoot for the Lightning, good. Long-range jumper was unsuccessful. Edmondson fighting Hamblin for that rebound. Approaching 6 minutes remaining in the round 4 contest. The Lynx will go top this evening of the WNBL standings. Still one more game tomorrow night in the WNBL over in Victoria. Here comes Logic. Regain the handle creatively into the paint. Outside to Ellsworthy. Wets the jumper from the baseline.
Quick catch and shoot off the penetration. Found her on the baseline there. Good step-up shot for the young player.
Edmondson chased her own miss. Missed a few of those gimmies. Much like a 2.5 foot putt in golf. Sometimes they just don't drop. Lavey's pass slapped down from Logic. And the Lynx maintain possession as Courtney Burns reappears for the Lynx, and Mijovic as well.
And no Whitcomb. We're on Whitcomb watch.
There we are.
Looking
indeed
for the triple-double.
We might need Mark Cometti to go just have a slight whisper in the ear of head coach Andy Stewart. We'll see what happens.
I've got her on 7 rebounds and 10 assists.
Okay, so 3 boards away from a trip dub. Mijovic, a rare left-handed jump hook from her was unsuccessful. 82-48. Nice feed inside. Hodges applies the finish. Grant, right in front of the Lightning bench. Out to Burns. left-handed shooter. Can fill it up quickly too from downtown if given the chance. Miovic was closed down. Oh, lovely
Great
backdoor
pass.
cut. Oh, I couldn't get the finish, Ash Grant. Logic corrals that loose ball. Looking to push immediately. Little floater over the top of Miovic, wouldn't go. Now Lavy's got Burns streaking to the basket, didn't see her. Alexa just set up now the half-court offense for the Lynx. 82 plays 50. Miovic, distinct height advantage there. She looks to use that. Oh,
Wow.
awkward
Wow.
looking left-hand runner. However, effective for Carly Miovic.
The difference is right now with this Lynx team, there's only one playmaker out there, and that's Tessa Lavey. Normally they have Tessa, Tony Edmondson, and Sammy Whitcomb out there to be able to create these easier opportunities. So Adelaide should recognise that, try to get the ball out of Lavey's hands as much as possible, get the younger player who's out there for the Lynx now in her first little burn in Courtney Burns, and make her be a decision maker.
No pun intended there, Nick, but great work. Planetta out to Good. To Nodge. With a pass fake, looking to operate. Inside to Planetta. Back to Nodge, they swing it around. Logic, wide open three is good.
And that's a downfall with the zone. Good ball movement, getting it spread from one side to the other, and then finding the wide open shooter, stepping up and knocking that one down for the Lightning.
84 to 53, back out to 31 points, make that 33. Courtesy of Ruth Hamblin.
Hamblin just too big and too strong. She's been impressive again this afternoon.
Lynx still sitting back in that zone. That allowed Hodges to just go backdoor. And a nice pass inside. They immediately answer the Lightning. Too little too late. 86 to 55. Inside 3.5 minutes remaining in this final turn. Lavey off that on-ball screen from Hamblin. Rather than shooting the three, just took a couple of dribbles, pull-up jumper. It was pretty.
This is such a good game for her. So valuable to be able to get out here, find her groove again after being out injured during the preseason, being on limited minutes in the first game when she was back here at home, to be able to come out here and play with some freedom and be really aggressive offensively.
Now Mark Cometti has just sprinted 30 metres to get to the team huddle. Let's cross into Andy Stewart.
We're in grey. All right, they inbound the ball. You run to here, stay, dribble, bang. Don't let it get across the floor. Back to man. We'll man up for one, and then we'll go back to zone because I'm going to sub again anyway. Okay, so you're just in for this spell, and then I'm going to sub you. We got it? Okay. Hey, let's make sure that every time we leave the court, we leave it with regard to we've got a little bit better. We've kept developing. I know we're 30 up, but let's just make sure we keep working. Don't get slack.
Let's go, ladies. Come on. 1, 2, 3.
So Andy Stewart just obviously making the clear point to not take the foot off the gas because the Melbourne Boomers await next week's on the 6th of November.
Yeah, I mean, he's such an impressive coach. He's had success throughout his whole career here in the State Basketball League. And in a short time, stepping into control of this program in 1 year, took him to a grand final. And you can see the value of what that brings. You know, emphasising right now to value improving, not measuring it by the scoreboard, but all the little areas they can get better at.
33 points the margin. Hodges putting the ball on the deck, outside to Good. Takes Burns off the dribble and was fouled. Will get 2 shots. Courtney Burns just trying to reach in to get the cheap steal.
Yeah, out of control defensively, out of position. Jumped at a shooter that was already in the air. The reward will always go to the offense in that on that occasion.
Jessica Good was almost going to sign with the Bendigo Spirit this season, but just decided to stick with the Adelaide Lightning. Was big on what Chris Lucas preaches, and he is one of the best in the business. His record speaks for itself. She swishes her second attempt for the Norwood Flames. And another cheap foul. Logic looking rather perplexed, but she did reach in.
She's just so smart about to initiate body contact, keep control of the ball, and blow past defenders. And on that occasion, Logic reached in undisciplined-wise and drew a foul.
So Sammy Wickham, by the looks on the Perth bench, put on ice, you would say. Not going to come out for a triple-double, unfortunately.
2 minutes 49 to go in the fourth quarter. A 33-point lead. A 40. Sorry, no, there we go. 34-point lead right now for the Lynx. Safe to say, I don't think she's going to see another second on the floor, Matt.
Your mental maths needs a little bit of work too, Nick.
Generally good at that too.
Here come the Lightning. Bounce pass into Planeta. She's been more impactful in this second half. Did go missing in the first and second terms. Logic, 8 to shoot, gets past Hamblin, and it was blocked. One of the league's best. She won't try and dial her number for the second time in a row. Only 1 second to shoot. Did she get it off just in time? Nice work from Planeta, beating the buzzer of the 24-second shot clock.
Great ability to be able to put the ball on the floor, really almost like a Euro step, but finish with the left hand. Impressive play there.
2 minutes remain. Mijovic, a long three.
Now the backcourt of Burns and Edmondson are here to be in charge and direct traffic and orchestrate the offense for the Lynx. And that occasion didn't take long for Mijovic to launch that one.
And Planeta tried to answer with a three of her own, and it did a lap of the iron and popped out. 93-58, 150 remains. Mijovic, can she get another look? Out to Burns. She'll definitely have a crack from there, off the heel of the rim. Into the hands of Good. Looks to push in transition. Planeta. Swing it around to Logic. Into the corner. Nodge. Long with her three-point attempt. Hamblin, another rebound. Mijovic putting the ball on the floor this time. Pull-up jumper. Couldn't go. As we approach 1 minute remaining in the game. Logic. Oh, lovely bounce pass inside.
Did that go through the legs of the Lynx opponent?
Couldn't tell from our angle. Hopefully we can get a replay on that, but that was impressive. Almost no look. The bounce pass inside to Hodges, and we'll call it between the legs. The nutmeg as such.
Logic has that ability. She's composed with a dribble, able to get into the seam of the defense, keep it alive, and good recognition of finding the open player.
The closing moments dominated throughout by the Perth Lynx from go to woe. Respectable crowd here this afternoon. Hopefully those fans that aren't at the game are tuning in live on LynxTV. You can catch us throughout the season for home games. Edmondson travelled.
An emphatic win here for the Perth Lynx at home. On their home court, their second time now during the season, Matt. Good signs for the Lynx moving forward in the coming weeks.
Mackay couldn't get the three to drop. Logic back to Mackay. Perth still in that 2-3 zone at the moment. Planeta makes good on the three. And you would suggest the final possession, just 0.8 of a second differential into Hamblin. Set upon by the Lightning defenders. Can Burns get a name on the score sheet? No. She might get a second bite. Didn't like the look of it. And that will do it. Surely the Lynx not looking for another basket. Well, maybe they are. For extra salt in the wound, and it is applied by Ruth Hamblin, who pops in two more. She moved to 12. The Sammy Wickham show throughout. 25 points this afternoon. And the Lynx get another win on their home floor. 95-63. Unfortunately, the Lightning now move to 0-6 on the season. With that win, Tessa Lavey, 14 points. Carly Mijovic was influential with 19 also this afternoon. Tony Edmondson with 13, ever so active on the glass also. And we're going to cross right now to Nik Lacovic, who has Andy Stewart at midcourt.
Thanks, Matt. Congratulations, Andy, on your second game here back at the Bendant Centre. An emphatic win today. High expectations in your backcourt, having the full entourage back now?
Yeah, well, we thought we did, but it looks like we've just lost a couple. So we're going to see after the game how long that's going to be. But, yeah, we copped a couple of little injuries in that game.
Talk us through about the philosophy of the style of play the Lynx have shown so far, the extreme pressure on defence, the transition flow on offence, an exciting brand of basketball for the fans here in Perth to watch.
Well, that's the thing. We wanted to make sure that we created a style of game that everybody, that could work for us, but everybody could like as well. And so to have, five guards just going at it on a, flat-out basis, revolving door sort of subbing, it's a great style. The girls love it. It's fun to play, and the crowd loves to watch it.
And finally, historically, you've had success throughout your career in coaching. Has this been the most rewarding part of your career, now coaching the WNBL, making a grand final last year and bringing hopefully a championship back to Perth?
Oh, look, I'd probably say yes if I was trying to be politically correct, but I'm going to say no. No, I love coaching, mate, and these are brilliant group of girls to coach. I flat out love it. But to be honest, I like coaching under 9 kids, and to get a group like this, it's just flat out fun. So I don't know that I'd rate any as higher or lower. I love coaching the Lightning in the SPL. I love coaching my kids down at Coburn. I just enjoy coaching.
Well, congratulations on this afternoon's game and best of luck for the rest of the season. It's been a pleasure watching it today and we wish you all the best. Thanks. Back to you, Matt.
Yes, I'm here with Sammy Whitcomb. Another impressive game for you. You got some good looks as always, continuing that top spot in the scorers for the league. Just shy of the triple-double. What did you see out there tonight?
We just really wanted to get back to our pressure defense and up-tempo game, and I thought we did a really good job of that from the start, which worked out well for us.
Okay. And you impressed with sort of the intensity of the girls from the get-go, like you were saying?
Yeah, definitely. We wanted to come out. The last few games, we've sort of slowly picked up the game. We've waited till the third quarter to really turn it on. We wanted to come out and set the tone from the beginning.
Okay. And we spoke to Tessa at halftime, and I said, going into the halftime break, you want to sort of maintain that motivation. Were you impressed with what the girls did in the second half?
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes it's easy to let up and let teams get back into it. I thought we did a really fantastic job of coming in when we had our minutes, playing really hard, subbing off, getting a break, and just repeating that over and over again, basically.
Awesome. And so what can you carry into next week going forward with that?
Hopefully, just that same kind of intensity from the beginning, rebounding, pushing the ball, and then defensively just getting up, pressuring the ball, and running out of that.
Thanks so much, Sammy. Thanks for joining us again, and best of luck next week.
Thanks. See you next week.
Thank you. Back to you guys.
Impressive win from the Perth Lynx, a 32-point win over the Adelaide Lightning. Unfortunately, the visitors dropping to 0-6 on the season. The Sammy Whitcomb Show, Nik Lacovic this afternoon.
She was incredible, Matt. Doing it off the bounce, scoring when the team needed it, rebounding at the same time and getting her team involved. 29 points, 9 assists and 6 rebounds, just shy of a triple-double today. She is simply the benchmark of how high performers play in the WNBL.
Tessa Levy's impact noticeable, particularly on the offensive end of the floor this afternoon.
Well, what a great breakout game for her, coming off an interrupted pre-season through injury, some responsibilities with the Olympic team, and now coming here on a home floor, dusting off the cobwebs, getting active defensively like we know her to be, so explosive and creative as well for the Lynx, and she was a catalyst in getting that 15-2 run started in the first quarter.
Positive signs from beyond the arc for Carly Mijovic, who it's fair to say struggled against UC Capitals last week, finding the net regularly from downtown.
She is impressive, a player of her height and ability to be able to stretch the defense, and when you have playmakers like Whitcomb, Edmondson and Levy, getting the feet ready and getting ready to shoot is what she's great at.
Next up on the menu for the Perth Lynx, a home game with the Melbourne Boomers, Saturday, November 6th. Looking forward to a great game there.
Yeah, it should be another exciting opportunity for the Lynx to continue this momentum that they've created at home over the last 2 weeks.
Laura Hodges, congratulations again to her. 200 games in the WNBL for the visiting Lightning, 21 points tonight in a losing effort. In summation, the Perth Lynx by 32 points here at the Bendat Basketball Centre. We look forward to your company on behalf of Nik Lacovic and also Mark Cometti, Matt Cecins. We look forward to your company next Saturday.
We learned a lot throughout the whole season, and now we've had 6 months to think it through, make some adjustments, and I'm pretty happy with where we're at. We want to win the championship, and we believe we put a squad together that give us the best move in that direction.
Everyone puts in 100% every session. Like, we want to get better and we want to come out that first game and shock the league.
We're going to play an up-tempo game, which people saw last year. We've got a lot of cutting, a lot of moving, a lot of aggressive defence, and it's fun to watch.
I'm very excited. It's really good. It's so much talent, experience, and I'm just looking forward to it.
Ruth has joined us, and she's 6'7" and a very strong body.
3 blocks tonight, 403 career blocks for the Canadian Hammer, Ruth Hamlin.
I was like, we lost the championship and we just lost in the Olympics. It's time to win a championship.
I want us to play a great 24 seconds. And then I want us to put another one on top of that and another one on top of that. And then that'll all look after itself.